Welcome back, my delinquents. Today we'll be watching the new Shoe0nHead video, America is in Shambles. I watched a bit of this on stream and it was chaotic, so decided to watch it fully off stream, seeing I do that with most serious videos. But also, guys, we'll be watching the new mrbeast video on stream right after this is uploaded, so if you don't watch this, then go watch that. You're welcome, if that made any sense to you. But let's get into the video. What are we even watching?
My fellow Americans, I regret to inform you that it is that time again. Election time. Every 4 years we have to deal with this. Are you voting for the red pedophiles or the blue pedophiles?
And every other country has to deal with watching this on Twitter, unfortunately. It's like infests everywhere.
It's the red drone strikes or the gay drone strikes. Dead Palestinians or dead Palestinians. We're tired of it. They should just pick one guy to protect democracy and have him rule forever. And I believe that guy should be me. I am officially announcing that I have once again decided to run for president. I know my last campaign didn't go very well after they found the tweets. Black people say it all the time. I can't say it. Let's take a look at our candidates, shall we? Trump. Old. Orange. Kamala.
Old and orange.
Woman.
Yeah, it is funny. That is sometimes people's biggest point.
What is a filibuster? I don't know. I get all my opinions from Twitter. And my husband. Let's talk about Israel. Build back better?
Oh my god, that just made me laugh as I literally saw someone say that they're so glad to have Twitter for freedom of speech or some bullcrap, and it's like, okay, if you get your news and your freedom of speech from Twitter, I'm sorry, this is a weird place to be living in.
Agenda 47? Let me introduce you to the Shoe New Deal. Bring back the red Pizza Hut cups. Universal guns for all. Make
Universal guns, but what will we do with all these guns?
McDonald's colorful again.
I agree with that. I'm so sick of everything turning black and gray. It looks horrible.
Millennial gray shit, folks. We're sick of it. Government-sponsored big titty goth girlfriends. Make it illegal to be mean to me. Imprison people who sleep in jeans. And finally, deport all the...
I say they're not going far enough. Support people that wears clothes to bed. I'm just saying, freedom, people. Freedom. The medieval people had it right. Naked, or you had like one of those dress shirt things that were just like long, because it was far comfier than pants, okay?
Greeks. Who's gonna be my VP? Alex Jones. So vote for me. Or else. The DNC is being held in Chicago, there's a Kennedy in politics, and an assassination attempt. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to 1968. It has been a crazy few weeks. I'm sorry that I have been gone. I've been...
Yeah, sometimes, you know, stuff changes, but things just stay the same.
Very busy, as some of you know now, and as some of you guessed. I have recently had a baby. And as it turns out, that takes up a lot of your time. And it's weird, like, I don't really care about politics anymore, but at the same time, I care about them more than ever. Like, I feel like I care more about the future, but also I don't care about what this political streamer said about this political streamer. It is so freeing. I highly recommend it. And even though I told myself...
Yeah, honestly, I think getting your politics or your point of views from a streamer or a YouTuber isn't the best idea. Like, it's good for open discussion, but don't just believe anyone blindly. I say as you're talking to me.
So if I am taking a break from politics, I am retired until further notice. I just couldn't help myself. Too much has happened. Just when I thought I was out, they pull me back in. The news has been absolutely insane. I cannot keep up with it. The media has been more biased and extreme than usual, but thankfully there is a tool to help you navigate through all of that. So before we get into today's video, let's quickly get into today's sponsor, a sponsor I've been working with for over 3 years now, Ground News. Ground News is a website and an app on a mission to give readers a fun, transparent way to keep up with the news. And it lets you compare how stories are covered all across the political spectrum, from left, right, and center. Every story comes with a quick visual breakdown of the political bias, ownership, and headlines of the source's reporting to help you get all the information you need.
Imagine reading the news. That's crazy. But you know the rules, and so do I. An ad inside of an ad. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment below, but ring that bell, and maybe see me over at Twitch, seeing we're watching stuff right after this. Whoa.
need to understand the full story. The blind spot feature shows what stories are being underreported from the left and the right. For example, here is a story about how Trump apparently said disabled people should die? What? Right away.
I need some sources on that, honestly. I actually did see that going around, but like on Twitter, so, you know, you gotta be skeptical. And I've been too lazy to look.
We can see how this story has been covered by 19 sources, and 78% were left-wing. Barely any right-wing outlets are reporting on this. Or this one about how the Secret Service apparently refused to use drone protection before the Trump rally in Pennsylvania. Yikes. 13 sources covered this, and 100% of them were from the right. 0% of left-wing sources covering this. What's cool is you can even see who owns these media outlets. But my all-time favorite feature of Ground News is how easy it is.
To be fair, when you got sexy titles, you're looking for a sexy title, and they didn't let me have drones. Isn't as cool as he said death to disables or something. So when you got different quality, that's fair, like of what stuff you can get. But yeah, it is kind of annoying when they just don't, you know, report everything. It would be nice.
To see how political bias can affect the framing of a story. It's so funny. For example, this story, this is how the left wing covered it. Netanyahu's speech to Congress underscores US complicity in Gaza war. And this is how a right-wing source frames the exact same story. Are you ready? Allahu Akbar! Protesters burn American flag, rage outside Netanyahu's speech. I have been using—
Oh my god. Allahu Akbar. Yeah, but this is a good point of view to have with all content you consume, because YouTubers and anyone, especially individuals, are biased. So be aware of that. If you can feel they're being biased, just keep that in mind.
Ground News every day since 2020. It is one of my all-time favorite apps, one of the first apps I open in the morning. Best of all, you can currently get 40% off their Vantage plan, which gives you unlimited access to their amazing features. Get the deal by going to ground.news/shoe, using the QR code on the screen, or clicking the link in the video description. And now, back to the video. Now, as you know, I do not watch mainstream media. It's all biased and fake and bought by big pharma and the military-industrial complex, blah blah blah, you know me. So instead, I tune into the real news.
Will Donald Trump win the next presidential election? No, thank you.
Honestly, you may as well sometimes compare to how biased some people are in these. It's why you should like just find some sources you actually trust, not just someone who regurgitates the same information over and over, from the point of view of their biases, you know.
Will Joe Biden be the president for the next 4 years? No. Interesting. Thank you. Is the ocean considered another dimension? Yes. Thank you.
Trump and Biden had a debate, and well, it went exactly how we all expected.
The total initiative relative to what we're going to do with more border patrol and more.
Watching these two old guys in clips is like watching an old folks home, honestly.
Asylum officers.
President Trump?
I really don't know what he said at the end of that sentence. I don't think he knows what he said either.
You know, I have my opinions, but let's see what the American people thought. I forgot to watch. Understandable. Have a nice day.
Joe, you did such a great job. You answered every question. You knew all the facts.
You answered every question? The bar is in hell. At first, Democrats tried to play it off like Biden had a cold. They can only keep Biden in the basement for so long, and now the whole world sees his brain melting live on TV.
With the COVID, with dealing with everything we have to do with, look, if we finally beat Medicare.
They couldn't deny it anymore, and
Bastard needed that retirement, honestly. People were calling him a pussy, but he had to go. He was so senile. But again, I am Australian, so I have no fish in this fight, or dog in this fight, or whatever the hell you want to say. This truly isn't as super important to me, so I'm just a spectator. I have no sides because none of this is in my country.
it for years. We all saw it, and it's only gotten worse. And it's like fucked up to think about, because it just kind of shows like, of course we all knew this, but they really don't give a fuck about us. If this is truly the most important election of our lifetime, and if democracy is at stake, why were you putting up this rotting corpse of a man? The Democrats had 4 years to find someone else. 4 years! There are a ton of other options, like, I would vote for Gavin Newsom. I don't know any of his policies, but he looks like a serial killer, and that's enough. This is why we need to repeal the 19th. I'm just kidding. Am I? Everything I say is a joke, unless you agree with it, then I'm serious. There's just no way Trump is losing. It would take a
I
miracle.
have no idea who that guy is, but chat said something very weird about it, and I do agree he looks like a serial killer, and what the hell? That guy is weird.
It would take something like, I don't know, Trump getting shot in the head at a rally in Pennsylvania.
We see something that said, take a look at what happened.
Oh yeah, he's winning. I shit you not, I found out about this because of a meme on Twitter. The world could be ending, and I wouldn't know unless I saw a meme on Twitter. The bullet just grazed his ear because he turned at the last second to look at some immigration chart. Being racist literally saved his life. There's a lesson in that.
Oh my god. I'm surprised. I haven't looked at the comments, but I wonder how many people are getting upper for calling him racist or something.
The shooter was identified as Thomas Crooks, a 20-year-old who managed to find an unoccupied, unguarded roof not too far from the rally. He somehow knew that roof would be unguarded, laid down and aimed a rifle at the former president without being noticed. Oh wait, he was noticed. By everyone except the people who should have noticed.
Yeah, someone's on top of the roof. Look. There he is right there. Right there, see him? He's laying down. See?
Incompetency. But also, I think people are way too safe for that. Most, like, every man wouldn't do this, and so they're just very comfortable.
Yeah, he's laying down.
He's on the roof! He's right
We have people that
right
should not be
here! Right on the roof!
Either this was insane incompetence, or they let it happen. I'm leaning more towards the former because if you look at our bridges and airplanes, America is in shambles. People were laughing about how some of the cops protecting Trump were women, and like, come on now, that's sexist. They were making these awful memes like this. No, but like actually though, why did they have a 5'3" woman protecting a 6'3" man? The shooter could have had another clear shot of his head. Like, look at that. Look at that, what is that? Like, what happened? Did the Secret Service initiate some DEI program?
To be fair, all the other guys were bigger than him, and he kept poking his head out left or right, so I doubt anyone was gonna tell him what to do in that situation.
It would be like something out of a right-wing boomer meme.
To expand hiring, they're aiming to have 30% women recruits by 2030.
Oh. Oh no. Breaking. FBI confirms that Trump's ear was struck by a bullet.
Oh no. But honestly, who gives a shit? There's tons of police officers and stuff in Australia that are women. It's fine.
Wow, thanks guys. How much do we pay you in taxes again? Also, now that the FBI said it, I'm kind of doubting it. This is like when the government confirmed there were aliens and then I stopped believing that there were aliens. The way we were so close to just seeing Trump's head be blown into smithereens, the worst way to be blown, it is so crazy. Like, what was the motivation behind this? I mean, the shooter would have to be some crazy leftist or maybe a crazy far-right person who didn't like Trump, right? Well, we don't know, because apparently this 20-year-old had no social media presence. Okay, we do know that he donated to the Democrats and was a registered Republican. The internet was really desperate to find any kind of motive, but the only thing the media seemed to report on was the fact that the last thing he did was watch porn.
Watches porn, but doesn't have any social media. Maybe he had different accounts, but I find it very unlikely seeing people pointing out he had a YouTuber shirt on. You would imagine he would at least have like some YouTube accounts or something like that.
Getting in one more goon sesh before getting shot in the head by the feds. Personally, I think it's important to know what kind of porn he was looking at. I think that will set the record straight. Was it furry porn? Leftist. Hentai? Right-wing. Feet? Centrist. Latex balloon inflation BDSM sissy hypno? Shoe0nHead fan. I always thought about like, if the MK Ultra suddenly kicked in and I went on like a killing spree, good luck figuring out my politics. Trump shoot.
I just find it very funny, the idea maybe you could tell someone's their thought process by the porn they watch, but honestly, I really doubt it.
Shooter used gaming site that features presidential assassination game. So for those of you who don't know, they're talking about Steam. He doesn't even own the game. He didn't even play the game. This would be like being called a pedo.
The biggest stretch of their life, honestly. They're just trying to make it anything problem that isn't like, oh, he was radicalized by something. It's like, nah, just video games at it again. Like, it's like, okay, shut up.
Because you have Netflix, and Cuties is on Netflix, even though you never watched Cuties. He's not trans, he's not Muslim, we can't figure out his political identity. Who do we blame? Gamers. Now, I'm not a believer in stochastic terrorism. I think that's a little goofy. People should be allowed to criticize people. But if you're like, he's Hitler, he's Hitler, he's Hitler, he's Hitler, eventually someone is gonna try to kill Hitler. But it is crazy to think about how, like, this will be in the history books. This will be in my son's history book. But it will look more like this. Now, unfortunately, someone did die. One of the bullets hit Corey Comparator as he was protecting his family. But there were people, like, mocking this, which is insane to me. Like, it's one thing to make fun of a failed assassination attempt, even a successful assassination attempt on a politician. If we can't mock or criticize the people in power, there is an issue. But it's another thing to mock a innocent Trump supporter that died. The guy didn't have any power. He wasn't a politician. He was just...
Yeah, I would 100% say that was going way too far to that point. But I think the thing is, like, when this first came out, a lot of people didn't know who it was, but I'm assuming they're talking more about Destiny, who specifically talked major shit about that guy, and I'm just gonna say no one fucking liked Destiny. He's an asshole.
A dude. I don't like where stuff like this leads. And sure, you could say, oh, if a Biden supporter died, you know, MAGA would be laughing about it too, and like, sure, like, can you just have some principles? Oh, speaking of, libs of TikTok started doxing people for making jokes about the assassination on, like, Facebook, and getting people fired from their jobs, including some old lady who, like, worked at Home Depot. Like, her life is miserable enough, man. She's, like, 60.
Yeah, I find that so weird. It's like, oh, well, I don't like the joke you made. Let me dox you. What? Everyone was, like, acting like it's like, well, they deserved it because actually, I don't know. Like, it is just the internet, bro. Like, people want to talk about snowflakes and stop being so sensitive, but that is so weird to go, my grandma said something offensive on Facebook, so I doxed her and got her fired. Dude, she's an old lady, okay? She probably can't even see all the way home with her eyes. Like, let it go.
5 working at Home Depot. Libs of TikTok just completely forgetting the reason she started the account in the first place, to make fun of cringy liberal behavior like getting people fired for jokes and political opinions online. I have been incredibly consistent over the years. Consistently retarded. But one of the things I've been very consistent on, one of my principles, is being against getting people fired for, like, things they said online. If you don't have principles, you are no better than your enemy. And it just becomes this extremely toxic back and forth.
This is, like, a big thing I have a problem with in general, is just, like, everyone's kind of, like, lowers themselves so easily into the frame. That's like, well, the other side did this, and it's like, now you're just as bad if you're doing the same thing. Congrats, you're a hypocrite. And I would say it's like, if you have to stand for something. If you stand for nothing, you're no better than the person you're complaining about.
This toxic cycle. And you all look like psychopaths while I'm here on the sidelines, principled and losing. Forever. Like, social media, when this all was going down, was a train wreck. Oh, speaking of train wrecks, the RNC happened.
Let me hear you cheering.
Yeah, I totally know what the RNC is, guys. For real, for real. Help, I'm Australian, please.
You support Israel.
Enough was enough! And I said, let Trumpomania run wild, brother! We become totally unhinged if Donald Trump is not elected in November.
At the RNC,
why is the chubby pug, not a pug, is that a bulldog? I think it's a bulldog.
Trump finally announced his VP pick, J.D. Vance, a man who, according to Snopes, did not, in fact, fuck a couch. Well, he lost my vote. JD is a senator from Ohio, the author of Hillbilly Elegy, and a terminally online post-liberal who follows me on Twitter.
It is the weirdest thing to me. Democrats say that it is racist to believe, well, they say it's racist to do anything. I had a Diet Mountain Dew yesterday, and one today. I'm sure they're going to call that racist too, but it's good. I love you guys.
That's...
Couldn't even get a pity laugh, bro. That was so bad. That was a freaking terrible joke. Oh my god. And he had to laugh at his own joke. Oof. That's painful.
That's my oomphy! This dude follows like 1,000 people, and 2 of them are me and my husband. There is a chance that we have a vice president who has retweeted the words Hitler Bussy 420 Oh, they did it. They literally did write about Mountain Dew being racist. I hate it here. After posting on Twitter that he was dropping out, we didn't hear from Biden for a few days, and people started suspecting that he was dead. People genuinely thought the DNC took him out behind the shed and put him down like an old dog. The shooter missed. Quick. Plan B. Kill Biden. Phones don't even look like this anymore. This man's brain was so fried he had to drop out of the race, but he's still the president? We have a president who is too senile to run for president. So who is going to run for president? Who is coming to save us?
You think you just fell out of a coconut tree?
Just as I predicted,
I have to say, from the clips, at least she's funny compared to some others. I appreciate that she has the brain power to at least formulate a joke half the time.
5 years ago.
America might get its first female president because the president stepped down or died. Empowering!
I don't know if you guys remember, but Kamala was not popular.
Yeah, like, some people were like saying this, but I don't know if I fully believe Americans would vote a woman in. But to be fair, all I am is exposed to is online Americans, so maybe it's very different in that country. But there's like a large amount of just like, a woman? Poof. It's just like, okay. It's like, who cares, bro? Who cares?
At all. During the 2019 Democratic primaries, she dropped out before Iowa. She was less popular than Tulsi Gabbard. And people don't like to hear it, but she was literally chosen because of her gender. Like, it's not even a joke. During the debate, when it was Bernie versus Biden, they were asked who they're gonna pick as a VP, and Bernie was like, well, it depends if they're progressive and if they're following a progressive agenda. And Biden was like, I vow to get a female VP. And the crowd went nuts. We might have President Kamala Harris because Biden tried to outwoke Bernie Sanders.
Bernie Sanders at West Lebanon. Harris is not going to win this election, and she is going to have a very difficult time winning unless she begins to speak forcefully about the needs of the long-neglected working class of this country.
The quote tweets and the replies were just full of thousands of people calling him sexist for this. Bernie is absolutely correct, though. Kamala has been so focused on getting, like, the TikTok vote with her little, like, brat summer thing.
I think a lot of them are way too, like, online about their postage and not actually. Dude, to be fair, I see so much about this election, nothing about either side's politics or any politician's politics. It's all like fucking Trump going on that stream with XQC and everyone making memes about him sucking his dick. It was pretty funny. The memes were good. And this stuff about her, like, but shouldn't politics be a bit more professional than this? I don't know.
I don't know what the brat is. I'm old, but someone has to remind Kamala Harris that she's running for president of the United States, not president of the gays and women.
White Women for Harris meeting raised millions, broke Zoom.
Oh, but when I want to have a whites-only meeting, I'm called a racist. Wow.
As white women, we need to use our privilege to make positive changes. If you find yourself talking over or speaking for BIPOC individuals, or God forbid, correcting them, just take a beat. And instead, we can put our listening ears on.
Oh, no.
Can Kamala Harris pull off a victory in 3 months? 3 top strategists lay out how.
I think they have honestly probably set her up for failure here, because 3 months before, if they were going to make this choice, they should have made it before. So now they can make an excuse they didn't lose because blah, 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 made a choice because of the change last minute. Or because it's a lady. It's not because they had like the weaker party or anything like this. They do this quite a bit sometimes, and it's kind of annoying, but I don't know. I feel like they've really given her a hard hand to run here.
On a 3-month campaign in an era when presidential campaigns have become years-long affairs, we gathered 3 top campaign managers to ask just that. We spoke with Patty Solis Doyle, who ran Hillary Clinton's 2008 presidential primary campaign, Robbie Mook, who ran Clinton's 2016 general election campaign.
Hi, Hillary Clinton team? Yeah, I need advice on how to win. What? Do you think Hillary's, like, seething? If there's any reason to vote for Kamala, it's just to make Hillary extremely mad. It was supposed to be me! The Democrats are
That's a good point. It's a better option than that was, that's for sure.
voting for a cop and the Republicans are voting for a felon. And one of the candidates VP is a Shoe0nHead fan. Wild timeline we're on, folks. It's silly season. I don't know who's gonna win.
But I don't know. What's really funny to me is like everyone keeps bringing up the cop thing for some reason. I'm not really sure. Australians we don't love cops, but we don't hate them. But Americans seem very tough on crime, but because she's a cop, it's bad. So I'm like, there seems to be like such a weird thing with Americans with cops, but laws, but it's, I don't know, it's very confusing for me to put together as like an outsider.
All I know is that this is a race between two very different candidates.
Do not come. Do not come.
I'm gonna come.
Anyway, that was my little.
At least all my friends will be happy. There'll be plenty of memes, because Biden just wasn't up to the task of making memes, to be fair. He's too slow for the game. I'm sorry guys, sorry.
Little political video. I just wanted to cover everything that happened so we can like look back on this during World War III and see how easy we had it. So what are your thoughts? Who do you think is going to win? Not who do you want to win, who do you think is going to win? Big thank you to everyone who donates to me on Patreon. I appreciate your support so much. If you'd like to support the channel, click the link down below, and I will see you guys very soon with a fun, non-political video. Bye.
I'll believe it. Nah, yes, I think that's a complicated situation. My only thing that comes to mind is like just the way Americans are talking. I find it hard to believe at the moment they would elect a woman, even if it was the best option, but who knows? Like with that, it's very hard to tell because you're like, all you see is the online options and things, and you know, that is a bit more skew towards the extreme of either side. But that's just because I haven't really seen anything overly positive like for her being a woman. Maybe I'm just like getting suggested the wrong stuff, but everything seems very mixed and very turmoil-y, very chaotic. So I have no idea who's gonna win here, but I think it's gonna be an interesting time, and can't wait for it to be over. So I don't have to like deal with it anymore. But no matter who wins, Americans will probably not be happy, I think, so. But who's ever happy with who's president or prime minister? No one. They're all usually a bunch of assholes, no matter what. And I'm gonna get in trouble for saying that. But thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next video, my delinquents. Let me know in the comments below what you think. Don't forget to subscribe and ring that bell. Bye!